Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. Angela Wolf here. Great to see you. So if you missed Tuesday's show, Colleen had the cutest project making dog collars or cat collars or squirrel and raccoon collars. We had that whole conversation on Tuesday. So if you missed it, you got to go back and watch it. So today we've got some more Halloween coming. Lynn Lilly has a great project. We're going to use AI, Artspira, and Sublimation. So in the meantime, say hi. We are live in the chat. As you all know, Houston Quilt Fest is going on. So if you are in the area, be sure to stop by the All Brands booth and say hi to all of us. So in the meantime, we're live in the chat, and Lynn has a great project for us. So Lynn, come on up here and say hi. I'm very excited for this because this looks very fun.
Yes. Okay. So I love Halloween. It is one of my favorite holidays. My family and I have a huge Halloween egg hunt every year. So
that'd be fun.
You're probably like, wait, egg hunt? So it started during COVID when trick or treat was canceled in our neighborhood. And I was like, what can we do outside that's fun for the kids? So we had about 10 kids over. We hid eggs in the yard and they loved it. And every year it has grown. We now have over 100 people that come every year at our house. We deck out the house. We have so much fun. And so every year our family picks a costume. We take our family costume. And then the following year I take a picture and I turn it into something fun to display at the party that year. So today we're going to do something really cool with a picture from last year's party. Our family was a circus family. So I'm going to show you. We're going to make this. How cool is this? You might be like, wait a second, that doesn't look like a photo. You're right, because it is an AI watercolor version of our original photo. And it is sublimated onto this pillow. And then, of course, I am extra, so I added a lot of trim and ribbon because everything is better with trim. So today,
oh my gosh.
What do you think, Angela? Are you a Halloween person?
I am, but I have to tell you, I'm just thinking of the eggs that I put out for Easter. And if you're doing it for Halloween, I just know that I put them out the night before and there was chocolates in them. And my squirrels ate through all of the plastic. So has this happened to you?
No, so I will not do that, especially here in the South, because Halloween, it can either be like cool and 70 or it can be 90 degrees here. So we have to put them out literally like an hour before the party. So I'm like a crazy woman. I will gather my parents, my husband. I'm like, throw the eggs out. And we literally hide about 1,200 eggs all over our front and backyard. And we do it right before. So it's fun. It's crazy. It's now become a thing that like all of our community and friends look forward to every year. This year we're adding a movie night to it. So I like the festivities and I love crafting for Halloween.
I love it. You know, in the last show you were on, I said, I wish I was your neighbor. And there was like 100 comments. Everyone's like, I wish I was her neighbor too. Now this just doubles over. We all want to be your neighbor, especially for Halloween.
I know. All right. So we're going to get started on the project. We're going to be using the Brothers Sublimation printer today. If you've never done sublimation before, this is a really fun and easy project to kind of get you started. And what I love about sublimation is easy. I had wanted to get into making sublimation projects for years, but I was just always intimidated by the expensive printers and thought it was hard. And then Brother came out with their sublimation printer and I was blown away by the price point and the fact that it prints professional quality. So we're going to go through it's somewhat new. Angela, do you know when they launched the AI feature on Artspira? It's fairly new, right?
I know that they had an AI version last year at Houston Quilt Fest because we were taking photos. I'll find my photo while you're showing. And we were taking photos and making ourselves look like high school age, kind of. And I'll show you mine. I saved it because it turned out so cute. I was like, I was never that cute in high school, but I love the way that AI had it.
It's technology. It can be our best friend sometimes, right?
It can.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get my phone connected and we're going to pull up the Artspira app so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing on my phone. So we've got the home screen of Artspira up on the screen. So what you see right now is what you would see when you log into the Artspira app. Artspira is free to download. There is a paid version too that offers some really cool things. But on the home page, you're going to get a sampling of everything that there is in the app. And Artspira is the connectivity for all of the Brother machines, from cutting, sewing, printing, embroidery. It's all here, which is really cool because you can design all in one place in the palm of your hand. So today we're going to get started by hitting the new toggle, which is that little plus sign down in the center. And I've already got it toggled on printing, and I can see that my Artspira AI at the very top there is an option. We're going to click that. So here it gives you a whole bunch of different creations that you can choose from: black and white, silhouette, pop, simple, crayon, watercolor, magenta. We're going to start with watercolor, and it kind of gives you some recommendations. So it shows you what a great image looks like, kind of recommends what's not recommended, so that it can transform your photo into like the best version of a watercolor piece of art. So I'm going to choose a photo. I've already got some photos uploaded into Artspira, so we'll give it a second to load. And I'm going to select that one. Oh, let me select. There we go. Second one. I knew I had a smaller version in there. All right. So you can also, when you've got your photo up, you can enlarge it. You can also crop it. You can remove the background too. So if you just want the people in the image, you can do that as well. I'm ready to go. So I'm going to hit convert, and it's going to take just a minute. So while it is transforming, Angela, I have to know, what were you for Halloween last year?
You know what? I was at Houston Quilt Fest and I did not dress up. And this year they moved the date, so I don't miss Halloween. I've had to miss Halloween for the last quite a few years. So I was absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing? What?
I think I had Minnie Mouse ears. Minnie Mouse ears.
Minnie Mouse ears. Okay, well, at least you had something. So while we're waiting for this to convert, I'll tell you what we're being this year. We always have a family costume every year.
I'm dying to know, because that picture right there is so cute. You guys are adorable.
So yeah, we were a circus family because we oftentimes say it's like a circus at our house. But this year we're all being villains. So I'm Cruella de Vil. We're turning our dog into a Dalmatian. My oldest daughter, Lily, is going to be Wednesday. My youngest is going to be Maleficent. And my husband is going to be Captain Hook.
Oh my gosh, that is going to be so good. Speaking of so good, look at that. Your picture turned out so much better. You know, you were asking how long this has been out. And I did this on the fishing boat last year. And it turned me into a man with a mustache and like a wife beater t-shirt. I was like, how did this even happen? Yours turned out great.
Right? Okay, so how cool is this? So you can see the image. You can also, I'm going to fill the entire sheet with it. You can also then go ahead and toggle back and forth. So we're in watercolor, and we're going to hop over to crayon and see what it looks like in crayon. So I just selected the next one over, and then I'm going to hit preview. So it will transform.
Oh my gosh.
Once it's uploaded, you'll be able to see it in all of the different like applications, I guess, or designs that you can select, which is really, really cool. And it's also kind of fun just to see how it changes your facial features. I'm like, we look a little bit creepy, but I kind of like it because it's a Halloween photo, right?
We'll have to ask everyone watching. Leave a comment below. Which one is your favorite? Because these are turning out so cute.
I know. They are so much fun. So you have to be patient because obviously it takes a little while to rework your picture. So this is a good time if you're thinking about things that you want to add to it. So I call our family the Boo Crew because we are the ones that host the Halloween party every year. So I think I'm going to add in some text once it's done transforming. And then you can also add in any other illustrations or designs that are already in the app, or you can also upload your own. Okay, so look at how it slightly changed us. So this is the crayon version, which is actually pretty cool. You can see the background, like it looks like it's shaded with crayons. And we're just going to roll with this one for now. All right, so we're going to hit done. And now we're back in our design canvas, and you can see it allows you to do all the things at the bottom, the toggles, the background design, text, image. So I'm going to add text, and I'm going to say Boo. Whoops. And add text, and I'm going to say Boo Crew. Okay. All right. And it just pops my text in the center there. And I'm going to change my font. I'm going to use this new Rockstar one that I used on my sample.
Oh, I like
it. Yeah, it's kind of creepy, right? It gives that Halloween creepy vibe. And the other cool part, as you probably already know with fonts, you can change it to all these different colors. So we're going to make it orange. And then I'm also going to add in, I'm going to go into design and I'm going to add in an illustration. I've got Halloween ones already saved in here because I've been doing so much Halloween crafting already. So I'm going to pop that little spider in there because I think he's super cute. Not too spooky.
Oh my gosh. I wonder, I went to a restaurant yesterday and they had spiders like that, like both of those out of Artspira. I wonder if they did those in Artspira because they're all over the wall, all the way down. I'm like, I'm out of here.
I love it. So I actually am terrified of spiders in real life, but I like crafting cute ones. I think they look adorable. All right. So once we're ready, I'm keeping it simple because we're going to put this on a pillow and then I added a whole bunch of other stuff to jazz it up. We're going to hit done. We'll save it. I'm just going to save it as an H. It doesn't matter what you save it as. You can't search saved anyways. It just goes in the order in which you saved them. So you can name it whatever you want. All right. So when it's ready to print, it automatically mirrors the design for me, which is great because you don't have to think about it. And then I will send it directly to my printer via Bluetooth. And just like that, it's almost done. It literally takes like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds to transfer it, and it'll be done printing in just a few minutes. All right. So I think the sample I printed out is slightly different. So this is going to be cool to see this one versus the one that I just printed. And you can see how it prints out backwards. And Angela, some of the people watching may be like, wait, ooh, those colors look terrible, right? Like those just might look really, really bad. Like, are they going to press like that? Absolutely not, right? That's kind of the wow thing when you work with sublimation is that it's a fun surprise after you press it, what it looks like. It's always the big reveal. All right. So while we're waiting on it printing, let me just talk to you about what we want to sublimate on. Okay. So we've got a 100% polyester pillowcase here, okay? And the pillowcases are made out of 100% polyester. Now, if you get one that's like 70% polyester, you're not going to get as many bright colors as you would. So the least amount, I guess, what's the right word for it? The lesser amount of polyester you have, the lesser amount of color is going to be absorbed into the fabric. And this also works with your hard substrates as well. So if you're in the craft store and you're looking for something to sublimate on, you want to make sure that it says like sublimation friendly, or you can read that it says it's 100% polyester. Angela, have you sublimated anything fun lately?
You know, I have not, but I have been embroidering like crazy. The new PR 10 needles behind me. I embroidered for the last 3 days nonstop. That machine, I had to turn it off for the live show because you'll be able to hear it over there. It's not quite as quiet as my Avenir. So you know what's on my list though is to sublimate on thread. So I'll keep you posted next time I see how that works.
Okay, yeah, I want to definitely know how that goes. I think last time we had a show, someone was talking about sublimating on vinyl, which I haven't yet tried yet, but I'm really excited to try that out. And someone I think in the comments had told us that they had tried it and it worked. So it's definitely on my list of things to try and sublimate. All right, so we're giving this just a second. The printer is pretty fast, but when you're doing something that is a full page of color, it takes just a few more minutes. All right.
So speaking of full pages, do you want to see this? You've got to see this.
Yes.
This. So I had on an embroidered top. So this was, look at how funny.
Oh you my God, I love it.
The whole background. Isn't that fun?
That's amazing.
And then there was one more.
Okay,
I had to try to this one thought my embroidery was jewels on my shirt. But is that cute?
Oh my gosh, I love it. That is high school Angela.
High school Angela, for sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
so let's see what yours turned out like.
All right, so look, so this one that I printed out right here, that's the watercolor version of it. And this
I like that.
one is the crayon version of it.
Wow, so they look totally different.
Right, how cool and how different they are. So it kind of gives you just a comparison. And I mean, there's, I think, like 6 different like styles you can choose from, and they're all very, very different. All right, so to prepare, earlier I went ahead and pressed my pillowcase to get the wrinkles out of it. And I do that for 2 reasons. One, to get the wrinkles out, and then one, to get any moisture out of my fabric before I'm going to press it. And then the other very, very important ingredient that you need is heat safe tape. So heat safe tape oftentimes is blue, but sometimes it's a couple other colors. I think there's like a brownish one, a black one, but a red one. But the important part is when you are looking for tape, it says heat safe tape, okay? Because if you just use regular Scotch tape, that is going to melt in your very, very hot press. And this tape is meant to withstand super high temperatures. And the reason that we use the tape and we tape our whatever we want to press onto our blank is so that it doesn't move. Because if it does move while you're pressing it, even if it shifts ever so slightly, like a centimeter, you're going to see what is called a ghosting effect. And that just almost looks like double vision, right? So that there's like two images, one slightly behind it. So you really, really don't want your fabric to move. Also, you don't want your fabric to have lint on it. That's another thing I think we don't mention enough is that if you're using a fabric, make sure that you lint roll it ahead of time if it looks like there could be some dust on it or some particles, because that will get pressed into your design and you'll see that lint in your design. All right, so I've got this guy taped on there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set it on my press. All right, we're going to get my press. Looks like my press muted just a minute. It went into sleepy mode. I'm going to give it just a minute to heat back up. We're going to set it at 390 for 40 seconds. And once it's ready, we'll go ahead and hit the start button. We're at about 345 right now. One of the other tips when you're in the Artspira app, after you send your item to print, it's going to give you an option that says heat guide. And so you can click on that and it takes you to the Brother website. And it gives you the heat settings for all the different materials that you could be sublimating on. So literally Brother is doing all the work for you. You don't have to do anything, which I love, right?
You read my mind. When I came up, I was ready to say, hey, Lynn, why don't you tell them how, because a lot of people, they get confused and like, I don't know what the temp should be. I don't know all these things. I love that it's right there. And that's exactly what I was going to say. Will you remind everybody about that?
Yes. Yeah, because it varies a lot. And some people may think about heat settings, like if they're doing HTV vinyl. With HTV, it's a totally different setting than it is with your sublimation. You go a lot hotter and usually for a little bit less time. All right, let's see. We're almost there. All right, Angela, any good projects you have up in the books that are cooking in your brain that you're working on?
Yeah, they are. I was trying to get them ready for Houston Quilt Fest. That didn't quite work. So they're going to be coming on next week. But I have embroidered up quite a few different trims, like L shape to put on jackets. And I have embroidery for sleeves. And I have some embroidery for a top. I told you, I'm not kidding. I'm so addicted to embroidery. Like you are with sublimation.
Yeah.
These machines don't even stop. I absolutely love it. And I know a lot of people had asked previously on one of the last shows, do you like better the Avenir or the 10 needle? Well, that's like not even apples to apples. So the Avenir's over there running full time because the hoop is huge, and the 10 needles over there running for smaller designs that I don't have to change the threads. So I would have to say they make the perfect marriage. That's all I got to say.
I love it. All right, I'm press and go for 40 seconds, and we're gonna let that cook. If you are using an iron, for instance, you got to make sure if you're using a home iron or trying to sublimate with it, you have an iron that gets to an extremely high heat because you do need to get to about 390 degrees for sublimation. And if you do try and do it with your iron, one of the things to note is that you don't iron like this. You press. So I always like to tell that to people if they want to experiment before they buy a larger heat press or they buy like one of the bigger handheld ones, is if you're doing it at home and you're experimenting, make sure that you're taking your iron and you're pressing it down for the amount of seconds it tells you, and you pick it up and then you press it again. Because if you do iron like you're ironing clothes, you risk moving the design, right? And then you get that ghosting effect, even if it is taped. All right.
You know, I was looking at some more presses recently because I, do mostly garments and I wanted a bigger one. There are so many different sizes of heat presses. Of course, this is not a Brother product, but you need it to go with the sublimation. There's so many different sizes. It's absolutely insane.
So there really is, and I'm going to wait really quick before I'll say this before I reveal. There really is so many different options, and there is inexpensive ones that you can get started with, right? That you do not even have to worry about. Like, you don't have to invest in a huge one. You can invest in like a handheld one that's this big and start with that, right? So there's entry-level presses that you could use. All right, are we ready for the reveal?
We are. Drum roll.
Drum roll.
Oh my gosh.
How fun is that?
That is so cute.
So, okay, so let's take a look at this other one. And again, these are the two because one is the crayon and one is the watercolor. This one is the crayon. So you can kind of see the differences next to each other.
So the one, we have to have everybody vote. So the one on your right hand.
This one is crayon. Crayon.
Okay.
Okay, and then this one is the watercolor.
All right, everybody vote. Which one's your favorite?
Tell us, and I'll hold them closer so you can see. Okay, so that's crayon, and then that is the watercolor. So you tell us which one's your favorite.
Oh my gosh, they're so different.
I know, right? Aren't they so cool? And then you can have some fun with it, right? If you're like me and you like trim, you can either sew on your trim or you can use fabric glue to attach it, make a ribbon bow. I mean, the world is yours to add to it and jazz it up. And then just pop some stuffing in there or a pillow form. And now I'm excited. So I'll have this at my party this year. And most everyone was at the party last year, so they'll recognize the photo. But it's a cool take on our normal photo, right?
You know, I was just thinking, you know, it would be really fun just to make, you know, more work for your huge Halloween party. Yeah. It'd be so cool to take a photo of every family that came in and gave this as a gift. They would just be like, oh my gosh, that's better than like going to a museum.
I know.
Like a amusement park.
Angela, don't tempt me. I already have a character artist booked to draw everyone's photos in their costumes. So my husband is like, you are extra times 10. I'm like, honey, you knew this. We've been together for almost 18 years. This is not new behavior.
I love it. You know what? You just gave me an idea though. I do need a new sublimation project and it is our anniversary. It was yesterday and 20 some years. I don't, 23. And I have not gotten him a gift yet. I told him I will wait till I'm back from Houston Quilt Fest. I think I'm going to do this. Take our wedding photo and put it on a pillow.
That's super cute. And then that's a cute little pillow for your couch or your bed. I love it.
Yeah, very fun.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. So everyone leave a comment. Which one's your favorite? I like them both. Or have you tried the AI? Which one is your favorite? Because you know, the funny part is every time you take a photo, it does turn out different. I wasn't kidding about the fishing one, Lynn.
Yes.
I was there with all the guys on my team and somehow it thought I was a guy. I had a goatee, hair on my chest. I was like, what in the world?
That's hilarious. But it's gotten so good. We've come a long way.
It has gotten so good. So let me make sure I've got Brother's website up here. Share your projects, don't forget. And also here is a link so you can see, find your local Brother dealer. Right now they're doing tech parties. They're doing parties with all the newest stuff. You don't want to miss out because you get to play on all the newest machines. So Lynn, I cannot wait to see what you have next month. Let's see, we've got maybe a Thanksgiving theme.
Yeah, so I think we're going to be doing stuff with sublimation and how to elevate your Thanksgiving tablescape.
Oh, I love that. Super cute. Well, thanks so much, everyone. Lynn, thank you for an awesome project. We love your projects because they're easy, simple. Anybody can do it. And if you'd like to watch again on YouTube, be sure to hit subscribe. You can come back and watch anytime under the live shows. And if you're on Facebook, the best way to watch again is click share to your own profile. Send it to your friends. They might want to see this too. In the meantime, have a great week. I won't see you before Halloween, so I can't wait to hear about your Halloween party.
I'll give you the recap next time.
Sounds good. Until next time, everyone, happy sewing.
Bye.